Hi, we're Antonia and Richard. Welcome to Ant and Dick's Excellent Adventure.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and those that are still undecided. And before anybody says anything in the comments, there is a reason I say that. Where are we, Ant?
We are in the very tiny village, or hamlet, one might say, of Hanetsi. And just randomly on Google Maps came up this tiny museum.
And
so we thought we'd come and have a look, because it's not actually too far from us.
About half an hour's drive.
Yeah.
A quarter of an hour, which is getting to a lane anyway.
Yeah.
And back to my introduction to this video. What does it say on this sign here, Ant?
So that translates as Bulgarian. Know your gender and language.
Ah, see?
So there you are.
When you all thought I was taking the mickey there,
Yeah.
I actually wasn't, for a change.
Yeah.
There. There's music playing, but we're going to go have a quick look inside.
Yeah.
Right. I think presumably some people involved in, yeah, there's a guy engraving on the stone there. There's a man with a much better camera than we've got. So it's obviously been on film somewhere, look.
Yeah.
It is, of course, all in Bulgarian, which is what you'd expect. And there's so much of it, you'd be all day trying to translate it. There's some battle in 1892, if I can get that bit. A couple of artillery pieces here with the soldiers. Oh look. Second World War. An American bomber there. Yeah, 1946, just picking out odd bits here. 1941. This is an old style heating system, a Jamal, which
Yeah.
is all that says.
Jamalite.
Yeah. Which you stoke a small fire in there and it heats the whole thing up, which stays warm for ages. Got some lots of brickwork there. Feel like a old-fashioned wood burner, I suppose, where the metal stays warm. Presumably lots of local people.
Yeah. There's also been many donors that have helped to restore this building, and they've turned it into a museum of the history of both the village and the area, I'm guessing.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. The history of the name. History of the name. Oh, there's the
Yeah, I pointed that out.
outside.
Yeah,
You've got,
yeah, engravings on.
yeah.
And there's a man
There's your sign right.
doing said engraving.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, darling.
Yeah. Oh, the roofers. Yeah. How fascinating.
Just as a quick sideline, where this is just where we're parked. Look, it's the whole area, not just us. Is a spring, but it's dry, the same as ours is. So it's not just us. So it is, you know, the whole area. So yeah, dry spring. But as we speak, strangely, I believe looking at the news, there's torrential storms across Austria, Czech Republic, Poland, Romania, but no rain here, or very little. We had a bit last night. Excuse any wind noise, I'll try and shelter the mic a little bit. But here we are then, in effect, in the middle of the reservoir. If you can see, I can't see probably, but somewhere up there there's a truck parked underneath the tree. That's the tree that's at the start of our videos that we normally park under, so excuse any wind noise. But we are in effect, you can see how high, there's the bank there where the water normally comes to, along there, and there's looking down the reservoir, and that's what there is.
There's even sheep that have been grazing.
Yeah.
Well, the vegetation is just
Sprung up madly, isn't it? Yeah. But this is the middle of the reservoir, as we know it. Is that a juniper bush? Has it brought forth juniper berries?
Juniper berries. It's bringing forth something. I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure. I'll have to get my plant net on there.
Looks dangerous. I wouldn't touch that. Anyway, yeah, the middle of the reservoir. This is how dire the situation is for water here. But as I said earlier, you know, bizarrely, Austria, Poland, Czech Republic, Romania, you know, torrential downfalls. We've got friends who are on their way here at the moment, Paula and Glenn, if you get to watch this, from the UK, who have been putting stuff up on Facebook, I think, just saying about how torrential the rain is as they're travelling, they're driving here. I think those cracks are, look. These are roof tiles and shells. So what was here, I wonder? Well, that is most definitely roof tile. How strange. more shells. And big shells. This looks as though it was a bridge at some stage. Fascinating stuff. Obviously never knew any of this was here because it was underwater. So that is how dire the water situation is here. Can you imagine all of this? What's here? The water was nearly up to that tree line there originally when we were here last year. Bizarre. So here we are back by the bridge again, and our very own walking encyclopedia, Ant.
Well, not really.
Will tell us a bit about it. Over to you, Ant.
Well, I had done a bit about this before, hadn't we? But this is fascinating, actually standing right in the middle of the reservoir, technically. So we've got the river Veselina, which flows into it and, I assume, through it. Perhaps originally it flowed under this bridge, if indeed.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But depending on where you look, there was an old settlement here. The reservoir was built in the 70s or the 90s, depending on where you're looking. And it may have been that there was an old settlement here that was demolished in order to build the reservoir.
Hence the roof tiles and stuff I found.
Hence the roof tiles.
They couldn't be anything else. They're not natural. They are roof tiles.
That is, we don't know. Also named after Yovkov, I think I said before in a previous video, who was probably a freedom fighter.
Aren't they all?
Aren't they all? Yovkov, hence YOVKOVTSI. Whether or not it was an old settlement or not.
There's definitely been something here.
That was abandoned. It was basically a...
And that is definitely a bridge. Yeah. There's no two ways about that, you know. Anyway, thanks for that, Ant.
How old the bridge is, who knows? But anyway.
Fascinating stuff as always.
Fascinating stuff as always.
Blatantly, somebody was down here with a chainsaw at some stage. One of these tree stumps. Blatantly, that's been cut off fairly cleanly, isn't it? What do you think, Ant?
It's fascinating,
isn't it?
I'd love to actually find out.
Anyway, onwards.
Hello? Dick? No, I'm afraid he's driving at the moment. Can I get him to give you a call back in a minute? Okay, cheers, bye.
Not creepy. It's a bit like the skull of something, isn't it? You see the mouth and the two eyes. See that?
Oh, it does, doesn't
Looking
it?
at it.
Yeah.
Laid on its
side.
left-hand side, left
Yeah.
side. It's a bit weird though. So gone home and done a little bit of research on good old Mr. Google. Here we are back at the reservoir again, because it turns out down the other side. I'll turn you around. Hang on. We were parked over here, so we're now on the other side of the river, which is in this dip here. See if Douglas up there, and there is an old graveyard. So we come back to, given it's only 5 minutes down the road from the house, you can actually see the headstones, look.
Yeah.
How weird is that? Oh look, decipher that. That's about, yeah.
How big was the village?
Look, that's
that was abandoned.
that's a grave. Look there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where the headstone would be. There's a gravestone.
1913, is it, or 1915?
Something, one of those, isn't it? 13, I think. There's another plinth. Don't trip over, Wisby. Another plinth thing here, look. Strange.
Yeah.
So this normally, would it be underwater? Would it be right on the edge, wouldn't
It
it?
would be right on the edge, yeah.
Right on the edge of the water. At normal,
These are quite well-worn paths, aren't they? So
yeah, normal water levels.
I suspect it. A lot of the
And a lizard. That says, let's say 1818. What does that say? What's the date on there? Right,
taped glasses.
right. Another one there, look. Looks like 1818 to me,
It
but
does look, yes it does. Oh, cool. That's quite extraordinary.
yeah. So this would we'd be on the edge of where the water normally is, wouldn't we? Yeah.
That one's 1918,
Oh, okay.
so I suspect that probably is.
It's the same. Another one up here. Oh, a couple, something there. And another headstone here.
So these villages weren't abandoned at all, were they? People were, whole villages were evicted.
Right. This is what you found on Mr. Google.
Yeah, they either left voluntarily or were forcibly evicted in order for the construction of the reservoir. Apparently it was a thing in the sort of mid to late 60s in Bulgaria.
Building
The
reservoirs.
communist government purloined, I suppose, if you like, small villages and settlements.
Well, I suppose, under the communist government you were told to leave, and that was that.
Yeah.
That was the end of the conversation, rightly or wrongly, We won't get into that. But at least they built reservoirs, which is more than they have in the UK.
Well, exactly.
Which is why we have a bloody hosepipe ban every summer. however much it's rained, because I don't think anybody's built any reservoirs for, is it 30 or 40 years or something in the UK?
At least 30 years was the last time.
Yeah, something like that.
I do believe.
Yeah.
But apparently some of the villagers rebuilt, they took down the church and rebuilt it somewhere else on high ground.
Right.
Not always the case, I don't know.
No.
But
interesting stuff.
we're right on the edge of one of the fingers of the reservoir, which is why it looks possibly worse than it is.
Oh, don't ruin it. You've ruined the effect now for YouTube.
I'm just telling the truth.
I was telling everybody how dire it was.
Well, it's fairly dire in this particular area.
Yeah. I went shopping in Gabrovo yesterday. If you're in Bulgaria, you'll know where that is. And it was a lot greener.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
There wasn't all the dried up, and the leaves on the trees were all green, weren't they?
Yeah.
Hey, we're now here. We'll just walk along a bit further to the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
And there's the other side of what you can now clearly see is a bridge. It can't be anything else, can it? Hey, and somebody fishing.
I don't know, it's difficult to tell where the water line would have come.
Here somewhere.
There somewhere. Yeah, so steps down to the... to your mooring bay or whatever.
Anyway, as always, what do we say? Everywhere you go in Bulgaria, there's a view. Look at that. It's come to that time of year, isn't it, where it's hot, stood here in the sun. It's actually hot.
Yeah.
But come this evening, we'll have that fire on again.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Chill morning, evening.
See down the reservoir.